The distant lightning of Emmanuel speaks silent prayers before the thunder calls us on towards the throne of night. A strange wind through this town, a strange wind through this town, a strange wind, a strange wind through this
The year is 1577. The astronomer Tycho Brahe takes note of a great comet overhead. He reasons that it was not a natural phenomena born of Earth, but instead an object from the heavens beyond, at least 4 times further than our own moon was, shrugging off nearly 2,000 years of Aristotelian precedent that comets were earthly exhalations, bad omens representing a storm to come. In the same moment of Brahe's radical contention, a 30-year-old mother in the German village of Leonborg takes her first son, Johannes, to see the wonder above them in the night sky. In the years to come, he will threaten the firmament of power in an effort to understand the cosmos. She will be called a witch. Part way between stardust and clay lies the epitaph, a final phrase summing the pulse of a life. Today, we follow the life of astronomer Johannes Kepler and his mother, the healer Katharina Kepler. This is the voice of fate. Not what you expected, is it? It rarely is. You are listening to KVCU 1190 AM Boulder, K225BS 92.9 FM Denver, and online at 1190.radio.
Der Leuchtturm, letztes Ziel. Kannst liebster ruhig schlafen. Die anderen, das ist Wellenspiel. Du aber bist der Hafen.
Did you know Radio 1190 has an Instagram account? We do. It's at Radio 1190. It's got behind-the-scenes station photos, info on upcoming events, ticket giveaways, and cat pictures. Actually, a lot of cat pictures for a radio station. Instagram, Radio 1190. Meow.
Programming on Radio 1190 is brought to you by Summer Session at CU. In-demand classes are available online and in person. You can even earn credit towards your degree while working, interning, or adventuring this summer. Class options, financial aid information, and more are available at summer.colorado.edu.
Hast Bataillone, Schwadronen, Batterien, Maschinengewehr. Du hast auch die größten Kanonen, mein Mische, was willst du noch mehr?
This is the Epitaph. You are listening to the lives of Johannes Kepler and Katharina Kepler. Katharina, you spoke your last words to your daughter in the vicarage of Roswalden at a dinner table. She and her husband soon write to your remaining children, informing them that negotiations for your inheritance will begin soon. Debts must be shored up for your time spent in chains. To let go of your pain in a house of humble divinity must have been an early mercy.
Kannst doch in Schutzhaft drin schlafen, mein Mische, was willst du noch mehr? Mein Mische, was willst du noch mehr?
Johannes, the day you breathed our world's air, your parents gave you a name tied to God. St. John the Evangelist, loyal disciple, writer of the Gospels and preacher of love, called upon you, the boy born to a cold that seeped into the best of homes, to overcome the whispers of death at your crib. Your father wanted a fighter who could join him in the battlefield. He lost the battle to name you.
Und fragst du nach anderem Begehr, so darfst du am Bauche dich streicheln. Mein Mische, was willst du noch mehr? Mein Mische, was willst du noch mehr? Du darfst exerzieren, marschieren, am Kasernenhof kreuz und quer, dann für den Kaiser krepieren. Mein Mische, was willst du noch mehr? Mein Mische, was willst du noch mehr?
Katharina, days at Margareta's garden offer you sunshine, though there isn't all that much to be felt in these shy days of late winter. It is too early to plant anything, yet you are planting still, working the soil and waiting for the day you can begin teaching your daughter more recipes to pass on to her children. The Lutheran faith of your parents had shuddered in the cold of your prison walls, but now, being nursed back to health by your daughter and her good husband, it's bloomed again. Johannes promised he would be with you again soon, but he had to attend to troubles with his salary and Linz first. In your first years, you grow rapidly. As soon as you can walk, Johannes, and well before it, you enjoy roaming the pastures with your mother. The wives of Leonberg sometimes give you soft cheeses or berries as treats. They are so enamored with you. A brother joins you soon, named for his father, and well enough, for he will one day join in his footsteps as a mercenary, hungry for a well-paying salary and roving adventure. When your father, Heinrich, departs as a soldier for the Catholic Spanish army in Flanders, your mother suffers. You contract smallpox and spend torturous nights in the fever and rash of a malady which will dim your eyesight and your strength for the rest of your life. Your mother makes you balms and tinctures to ease your pain. She prays over you. Your brother Heinrich hasn't formed words yet, but he is afraid. Katharina, you are given milk and bread before being dressed by gruff men in stained linens and wheeled into a carriage where you find your only daughter waiting. Is this to be another test? Have you been granted your freedom as Johannes said, or must you reject such a grace as this to face more honest punishment? son, your parents' inn, Johannes. You entertain guests with riddles and feats of mathematical prowess. At 13, you were sent to a Latin boarding school in Malbrunn. There, your instructors nurse your deep curiosity at God's creation into debates on natural philosophy and mathematics. You attend Mass 3 times a week and nurse your ambitions to become a minister one day. Katharina, you walk up the executioner's steps. He levies blades at your chest, his ropes at your back, a thumbscrew on your hands. His weapons are rusted, blighted by others' blood and torment. He says if you do not confess your wrongdoings, he will have no choice but to kill you. The lawyers of Chunbingen have decided it. You tell him, even if you treat me whatever way you want, and tear one vein after the next out of my body, I would not know what to admit to. He falls silent, and you are led away from the chamber. The creation of God is so massive, so exact, so unknown, that any effort to understand the world around you amounts to an attempt to understand Him, His harmony set before you. Johannes, you have won a scholarship at the University of Tübingen to study theology. The higher families of Leonborg all send their children to study the law, but you are not of the higher families. No matter. The ministry holds every question you wish to answer. One day, you receive word that your father has left your siblings once more, with no idea of where he's gone. A student in one class tells you he heard he left for his real family. He couldn't stomach having such a weakling for progeny. You try to fight him. He gives you a black eye and a swollen neck. You were taken from your home, taken naked from the trunk in which you had hid from your suspected enemies to a damp cell. You were informed you were under trial for drinks you gave to several people in Leonberg, which caused sickness. On trial for an attempted bribe to the governor to escape these charges. And on trial for your wish to have your father's skull dug up to use as a drinking cup. You knew your lack of tears at hearing the claims against you dug you into a deeper well, but you could not debase yourself for claiming something so untrue had happened. The wheat would be separated from the chaff in due time, you were sure.
True righteousness, I hunger and thirst. I hunger and thirst. An ocean I see without bottom or shore. Feed me, I'm hungry, enrich me, I'm poor. I cry unto God, I will never cease till my soul.
Johannes, you refused yourself the path to ministry in the Lutheran Church because you refused to agree to the formula of concord. To you, Christ could not be present in the Eucharist bread and wine. He could only be in one physical place. The power of the Eucharist was to be found in the elevation of the soul by sharing bread with fellow believers. Denied, you set to begin teaching mathematics at a seminary school in Graz. There, you published your first work, The Secret of the Universe. It was disseminated to men of influence and scholars of rank, even to the distant Tycho Brahe and Galileo Galilei. In The Secret of the Universe, you argue in defense of Copernicus and Thomas Digges, that the Earth was not the center of our lives, the sun was. Galileo wrote you saying he had secretly believed in heliocentrism for years, but he had been too fearful to proclaim so. Tycho Brahe read the book and relayed that your ideas were interesting, but lacked the material observation which Brahe had himself been conducting for the last 30 years. He invited you to join him in Prague at the court of Emperor Rudolf II. You had fallen for Barbara Müller in time, a widowed woman with one daughter. In those first years she became pregnant twice, but no child lasted a month after their birth. By 1599 you began to fear that a universal pestilence might have swept over from Hungary. You reported you were the first in Graz to spot a small cross on your left foot. Its colors ranged from red to yellow, and its position mirroring the point where Christ had been tormented with a nail. Other citizens found drops of blood on the insides of their hands. You still had to pay off a debt of 200 florins to the school in Tübingen, and repeatedly wrote to your mother asking her to leave any money owed to you from your paternal inheritance with your former professor Maslin, whom you revered. In August 1600, you were told to leave Graz within 45 days, and you desperately wrote to your former professor asking him for a small, badly remunerated professorship in any subject. You were already on your way to Prague when Maslin finally penned his negative reply. All this was alarmingly bleak, and despite all your efforts, you received no invitation from the Duke for work. Finally, a Catholic court offered you solace. The astronomer Tycho Brahe, with his prosthetic brass nose, originally lost through a duel with a student, invited you to Prague. He assured you of his friendship in times of need. On the 19th of October 1600, you, Barbara, and Barbara's daughter Regine arrived in Prague, bereaved of property, salary, stability. 2 months earlier, thousands of Lutheran books had been burned in Graz to celebrate the town's conversion to Catholicism, while Archduchess Mary began to turn your seminary into a convent. Almost exactly 1 year after you came to know Tycho, he slips away into death. Emperor Rudolf appointed you as Tycho's successor. His observations, you find, were enormous, more precise than you could have ever measured alone. Suddenly, you find yourself at the bleeding heart of a fight to proclaim the truth of celestial motion. A year later, your daughter Susanna is born. She's joined by brother Ludwig in 1607. Katharina, you hear of witnesses gathered by the governor who pledge you have done evil to your people. You hear your son Heinrich claimed you rode a calf to death and prepared him a roast dish from it, that he himself wanted to accuse you before the authorities. Widowed with Heinrich's disappearance, illiterate and landowner, you know you are a target, as so many other mothers have been. The image of you at the stake, your youngest watching, you vomit on the floor before you. In successive years, you publish a litany of works which break open the doors of astrology into a mechanical science of astronomy. The universe is harmonic, you proclaim. Any dissonance we encounter now will be revealed as such the more we grow to understand the world and the cosmos.
Blessing of sorrows, a crush of tomorrows, a nightmare disturbed by the dawn. A quorum of tragedy, rotten menagerie. Why do you stay with me now? A tide of naivety dragging the feet of me. What love cannot break allow. When I was a child, I dreamed of all of the things I saw yesterday. A blessing of sorrows, a crush of tomorrows, a nightmare disturbed by the dawn. Quorum of tragedy, rotten menagerie. Why do you stay with me? Burned. A tide of naivety dragging the feet of me. What love cannot break alive.
In the winter of 1614, your second child, Heinrich, unexpectedly returns home. Impoverished and ill after 25 years of service, a soldier and imperial guard in Prague. Despite the season, he demands meat and becomes enraged when you have trouble providing any. He slanders you, Katharina, as a witch. In the freezing February of 1615, this dissolute son dies at his sister's house.
What love cannot break alone. Now the winter's over and the storm has passed. The rains recede.
upon a time there was a pretty fly. He had a pretty wife, this pretty fly. But one day she flew away, flew away. She had two pretty children, but one night these two pretty children flew away, flew away into the sky, into the hush, little one, hush.
In just a moment, we will be back with the rest of the lives of Johannes Kepler and his mother, Katharina Kepler. This is the Epitaph.
Morning soon shall light your pillow. Birds will sing in your
Hey there, Chief, get on up the seat. Go to 1190.radio and click donate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. Hey, come on over here, get into gear. That's 1190.radio. Click donate today. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
In the summer of 1620, you write to Duke John Frederick, requesting full transcripts of witness testimonies. When your mother is imprisoned, Johannes, your sister, alerts you. You move your family to southern Germany to take up the defense in your mother's case. Your wife has died. More children have died. You've met someone new, thrifty. Money you've learned in Emperor Rudolph's court will never stop being a concern for you. So your new wife, again, Susanna, yes, she is thrifty, wise, witty. You have great joy with her. She leads you well as you lead her. Now in the trial, you do not have the training of a lawyer, but you have the training of a minister, never ordained, and a mathematician, perpetually lacking in resources. Finding the holes in an argument constructed of misappointed grievances under the metric of the Holy Roman Empire's law would be quite possible. You were sure of it. Katharina, you have found a proper suitor for your daughter. He's a man of faith and well-positioned to care for her. With Johannes away at school, Heinrich enlisted, your land cared for, and your youngest boy, Christoph, working as a well-respected artisan in Lamberg, you have satisfied all that has been demanded of you. You take it upon yourself to dismiss the 49 points of disgrace against your mother, the Lutheran way. Ursula Reinbold has accused Katharina of giving her an herbal drink in 1613 that caused immediate, chronic, and inhuman pain, eventually leaving her lame. The local schoolmaster, a former friend of yours, alleged that after sipping wine at Katharina's house, he suffered extreme pain in his thighs that eventually led to paralysis. He claims she magically appeared in his home through closed doors. Other reports suggest she had bewitched cows and made them restless or ill. Katharina was heavily criticized for asking a gravedigger to exhume her father's head so she could have it set in silver as a drinking cup for her son in Prague. The court viewed this as seeking a tool for magical sorcery. You criticize each witness testimony, the holes in every memory, the illegitimacy of a lack of tears proceeding in today's courts. You work through precedent, what is legitimate. You transform Ursula Reinbold into a sterile villain, disreputable in common society, a liar, a thief. Your mother, a proper Christian. You win. Upon arrival back to your work with the Emperor, you learn of your mother's death. You are deeply indebted. You have lost the salary of a year's worth of work, and your mother is no more. Katharina, in 1595, you begin to care for your ailing father for what becomes the next 5 years. In his will, he writes his daughter's complete love and loyalty and steady, hard-working care for him has set him on a path to give all of his land and all of his money towards her. Years before that, you meet Heinrich, a boy of well-standing, young, wild, wanting desperately to go beyond the bounds of Leonberg. You marry, you fall in love, and he leaves you. He leaves you for war, says it will come with money that he can send back for the children. You have more children, more die. But in those early days with Heinrich, there was a blossoming of devotion you'd only seen in your own parents before. They raised you in their inn, the sun. Your mother taught you in the ways of the plants around you, and making tinctures and helping others. Your father taught you games, how to talk to people, how to remember stories and share them with others. Use it in your work to better your future. You did not go to school. You were not taught. You did not leave Leonberg. While you, Johannes, were away in List, you wrote a story called Somnium, The Dream. In it, a witch speaks to her son, who has gone away for a long time, and has learned the ways of astronomy. She shares joy. She takes pleasure in comparing the extent of knowledge she had gathered and what he himself has discovered is true. She declares that she's now ready to die so that she could leave her son heir to that information which she alone possessed. In this story of the Somnium, the dreamer embarks on a trip to the moon. He imagines celestial starships which take him to heavenly bodies, to other creatures, other beings, who imagine that the world orbits around them. In the last years of Kepler's life, upon his return to his work, he spent them annotating Somnium. He blamed it in some part for transforming the allegations against his mother from common grievance or distaste into that of witchcraft. In his final days, he travels to the emperor and travels to others, hoping for payment that he can bring back to his wife and children. He dies on the way. Somnium survives as arguably the first science fiction story we have in modern times. Kepler's mother, a statue of her, stands in what is modern-day Leonberg. On Kepler's epitaph is inscribed, "I used to measure the skies, now I measure the shadows of the earth. Although my mind was skybound, the shadow of my body lies here." Johannes Kepler, 1571 to 1630. Katharina Kepler, 1547 to 1622. Remembered still. Partway between stardust and clay lies the epitaph, a final phrase summing the pulse of a life. Today we followed the life of the astronomer Johannes Kepler and his mother, the healer, Katharina Kepler. Tune in next Sunday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time for an afternoon with the person behind the creation of Godzilla, Ishiro Honda. You are listening to KVCU 1190 AM Boulder, K225BS 92.9 FM Denver, and online at 1190.radio.